Hi, this is Nat with the Other Side Nursery. Let's talk about Venus flytraps today. So, Venus flytraps are bog plants. They come from the area around North and South Carolina. So, weather-wise, they can actually handle cold pretty well. Like just not long amounts of freezing. So they can handle some cold. I grow them outside year-round here in Gresham, Oregon, which is essentially Portland, Oregon. We get about at the lowest I've experienced so far would be about 14 degrees for about 2 nights, but you don't really want it to remain frozen for more than, let's say, a week. If it's going to be below 15 or so degrees, definitely cover them. I mean, if you feel like you should cover them before that, by all means do. Or just bring them inside. So yeah, they want to be grown in full sun. So you can grow them inside, but you just have to have very strong grow lights for them because they're happiest when they're in full sun. Sitting in water, so water-wise, maybe you have about that much water. It can go up higher and it can be a little bit lower. As long as you have some water sitting in there, the soil will be wet and saturated. So yeah, so sitting in water, full sun. If you grow it inside, it can be in some water. You don't have to have the water level up that high. But water-wise, just make sure it's very soft water, like distilled water, rainwater, reverse osmosis water. You can get distilled water from markets. Reverse osmosis, you can either do it yourself if you have the machine for it, or go to like an aquarium shop. They sometimes sell reverse osmosis water. But tap water is usable as long as you can use really soft tap water. Here in Portland, we do have soft water. We get our water from the Bull Run Reservoir. So I can use tap water, and you'll see me watering everything with tap water here. If you were watching my lives at home, you'll see me just using the hoses straight up with Sarracenias and Venus flytraps, Dionaea. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. So yeah, soil mix. Half peat moss, half perlite. I know there's controversies around peat moss. There are alternatives out there, but with alternatives, you have to rinse it. Like, I know some people use coconut. I don't know how to pronounce this. Coconut coir. Well, pretty much like finely ground coconut husk. You just rinse it out a lot because some companies will use salt in their water mix, and that could be an issue for these plants. Make sure, though, with all your bog plants, especially with Venus flytraps, to flush out the soil or flush out the tray, flush out the soil, and you can flush the soil out by just pouring a lot of water on it once in a while, letting the water drip out, drain out. It helps flush the extra mineral buildup from the soil. Now, a lot of people will ask, do you have to feed it? The answer is yes and no. So feeding it is like giving them fertilizer. By the way, don't use fertilizer or standard potting soil for these because all that mineral, all that fertilizer and everything will burn the plant. But generally, each rosette could eat maybe about 3 insects per year. That's not that much, especially when you grow it outside. You'll notice that there's a lot of insects just kind of getting eaten by them. So they will catch their own insect, especially when they're outside. If it's inside, you don't have to feed it that constantly. If you find an insect on your windowsill or, I don't know, on your way home somewhere, then yeah, just kind of toss it in there. It can close up, or it will close up. And speaking of closing, these will only open and close maybe about 3 to 5 times each trap, I mean. So here is a spent trap. The dark one over here. These are all nice and doing well, but just because it's spent doesn't mean the whole plant is dying or anything like that. It just means that that specific trap or leaf is spent. What you can do is either, I would personally wait until it's pretty dark and then just pluck it out like this. But some people will just go at it and chop it off. It doesn't really matter how you get rid of it as long as you don't pull out the whole plant in the process. Because sometimes like this over here, the stem part will still be green, the petiole, I'm sorry. If you pull this out, you're going to pull out the whole plant. So just kind of wait it out if you're pulling, or just kind of cut it out. But it's not necessary just because this is how they look naturally anyway. How they eat. So there are micro bristles. I don't know what the actual name is. I gotta look that up. Maybe I'll write it down somewhere. There are micro bristles inside the trap themselves. They don't really react to water, but they will react to movement. Here's a dead spider. It got trapped in there, and the trap closed, sucked out all the juices, and now it opened up to reveal that little husk. Now that can take like 3 to 5 days or so, but yeah. When it flowers, you don't have to worry too much about the flower if the plant is already nice and big with several rosettes going on at one. And each rosette, when I say rosette, I just mean like cluster. So here, let me find something that might be a little bit easier to look at. So let's see, I see 1, 2, maybe 3 rosettes in here. This is also a bad example, sorry. I don't have a good example, but this is 1 rosette over here. See how it's just like 1 plant without like others clustered nearby? Yeah. If it flowers and you have multiple rosettes going on, you've had the plant for 2-3 years, it's fine. You can just let it flower. It'll give you tons of seeds. If you don't have multiple rosettes, just make sure you cut the flower stalk before it comes up. It uses a lot of energy. It's probably not going to kill the plant, but it's also not going to allow the plant to build that energy. It's putting too much energy into the flower stalk. During wintertime, a lot of the traps will go dormant. So once again, see all the brown traps? Those are either spent, but it will actually look like that during mid to late winter. So don't be too alarmed, just let it be. If you still see some green, that's fine. If you have the red form of the Venus flytraps, a lot of times it will look pretty brown. But you can kind of wiggle your finger into the soil, and there are bulbs. They produce these little bulbs that you can kind of squish just to make sure it's not like... If it's firm, if it has white in it, there's a good chance that the Venus flytrap is just dormant and still alive. So don't toss those bulbs out. You can divide them. I usually wait until spring to divide, but you can divide them multiple or like any time of the year, really. Just not during like a heat wave or deep freezing times. You can take it out. I don't really want to unpot any of these right now, but I'll probably make a video of me dividing them. You can take them out. They look like little garlic cloves, and then you can just kind of wiggle them out. They're really easy to divide. Like they almost fall apart when you do it. And then just kind of cover them up to the original soil line. So if you take it, let me see. Let's pretend this is the bulb part, this is the leaf. If you take the bulb out like this, so just cover the bulb back up. And then, of course, this is a leaf. Yeah, just keep the original soil line. If you have any questions about Venus flytraps or any plants in general, I also specialize in outdoor stuff. Just give me a call, 971-754-9013. And if you want to email us, it's info@theothersidenursery.com or theothersidenursery.com. If you want to stop on by, it's 458 Southeast 185th Avenue, unit number 103, Portland, Oregon 97233. And yeah, we're on the north side of the Rockwood Market Hall. I'll see you then. Thank you.